Okie dokie. So anyway, this is the leather that was in that press for about 20 hours. When I had taken it out, it was still wet, damp, but nothing like it was. Now, as you can see the markings in it, that's because that's where I had those little pieces of wood when I pressed it down, and as well on the back side, the wood went down first. And some of these clamps are just something I had on there recently because I wanted to dry it out the rest of the way, so I had brought it in the house with the clamps on it and stuck it next to a heat duct. Therefore it's dried out now and I can start to work with it somewhat. However, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get those marks out or not. So this is definitely a learning experience for me with leather. Okay. It's going to be tough enough as it is because I have to drill out each hole. But I actually, I can't find it. And it's my own fault, naturally. I can't find my I had a little wheel, and I know it has a name, and it has those little points on it, and you wheel it, and it kind of gives you the little marks to where if you want to put a hole, so they're nice and even, if you understand where I'm going with that. I can't find that damn thing, and for the life of me, I don't even remember the name of it, other than it's a little wheel. So now what I have to do is I have to find a little drill, and I'm going to have to make little holes, and I'm going to have to try to get them as even as possible, because naturally the detail in a holster is or anything, is what makes it right. It's almost like if you're painting the inner part of your home and you're going to paint the trim a different color, or even separate it from the ceiling color. If you just paint it and you don't cut in a nice straight line, it looks like shit. Well, it's going to be the same here. If we don't get a nice line on this, it's just not going to, if we don't have a nice line, straight, even, it's just going to throw the whole thing off. And I'm hoping that I can get this all out once I get it cut with some rubbing and some effort and some waxes or paste or whatever it is you use on this damn shit. So anyway, that's where I'm at. So I'm going to try to get some holes drilled. And again, if worse comes to worse, it doesn't work, fine, it doesn't work. I can always take the same holster and strap it next to the bed or a nightstand on the side where nobody's going to see it, and it'll still hold the gun. So it'll still have a purpose, even though it won't be a carry piece, or it may not be the best looking piece. Well, then I can just hide it and still use it. So anyway, that's it. Alright, so anyway, because I haven't got the right stuff to do this with, I'm kind of just playing it by ear. Now I have some cordage here, it's black, and it's got some wax on it, which is good for starters. I drilled some holes, and as you can see, they're a little crooked, oops, but I'm not going to concern myself with that right now. So what I had done was, because I haven't got a machine or really trying to figure this out on my own here, I ran a piece of cordage the length with a few inches hanging over each end. Then what I'm doing is I'm putting the needle through the bottom. I started from the beginning, through the bottom, up through the hole, pulling it somewhat snug at first, and then I'm going around. Let me get this so you can see it here. See that cordage there? See it right here? I'm going to go around the other side of that and go right back down the hole that I just came out of. And what it appears to be doing for me is it's acting almost like I'm doing a manual type bobbin thing here, thingy. And it's kind of like pulling the other one through, and they're kind of meeting in the middle, if you know what I mean. And it seems to be doing okay. And then, you got to tug on it every now and then to make sure that everything is where it belongs. I tied this off up here so that it can't pull back through, and that's basically where I'm going with it. So again, I'm going to come up from the bottom which is actually the front part. But that's up to you what side you want, up or down or whatever, front or rear. Alright, I'm going to kind of just hold out a little bit, pull that through, go on the opposite side of that cordage and right back down inside the hole again, using the table saw as a point to push it through with. Sorry if I'm not getting all this on video, guys, I'm sorry. Where can I work? If I work right here? Yeah, okay, so if I work here, you guys can see what I'm doing. Alright, so then I'm going to go back up again, turn the bottom, pull that through. As you can see, I'm going to go on the other side. Alright, well, other than it being crooked, as you can see, I guess that happens with age. I wish I had my tool. But other than it being crooked, the stitching actually came out pretty good. It's nice and tight, and it's even, and it's the same stitch on both sides. So it worked out well by doing it by hand. But like I say, if I can't find that little tool, I just may order another one, because I don't know, it looks like it might be a fun project to do some of this stuff. So what I'm going to do now is put the gun back in it, get some clamps, and get a couple holes drilled so I can get a stitch in place, and then we'll take it one step at a time. Where is the gun? Oh, here it is. Now if I just hold this here, yeah, so it kind of, yeah, it locks in. Whoops, I'm sorry guys. Yeah, it locks in pretty good. The only thing is, the problem being here is that leather has a habit of giving you holster wear. So we'll see what happens. But one thing at a time. Alright, I've stitched it, I stained it, and I sealed it. So now we'll see how it turns out once it dries. I've got it sitting up here on the wood burner, and the wood burner is just about out, so that's not real hot up there. I mean, I can touch it. You're not going to get burnt, it's not going to start any fires, but there is a little bit of a warm hue still coming off it. So that should take care of curing that a little bit quicker. And it gives me it gives me a place to put it until it dries, other than trying to hang it someplace. So, other than that, that's where we're at. Let me zoom in a little bit. Like I say, it's still wet, so it's a little glossy, but it should dry with maybe an eggshell type finish. So, but there we are.